Week 3 is upon us in Oklahoma high school football, and our Metro Ford of OKC pregame show brings us to Harv Collins Field this week as the undefeated Norman Tigers take on a Piedmont team that has been outstanding at the start of the year. This year, Norman is having its own stadium for itself as Norman North has moved across the city, and it's now the Tigers' home at Harv Collins. And we welcome you in alongside Connor Pasby. I'm Grayson Singleton, and Connor, Norman and Piedmont, our game of the week this week. Norman has entertained. Piedmont has a rising star. What do you think is key to this matchup here tonight?
Well, we talked about it. It's a different look that Piedmont provides with the flexbone look. It comes with more preparation on Norman High's defensive side of the ball to be able to stop that, because, Grayson, you only see it once during the season, and you see it from Piedmont. And for Piedmont offensively, Noxton Rollo's been the story for them, running the ball. Young running back, a sophomore. They're going to need a big performance out of him. And, of course, running the football out of that flexbone look. And this Tigers defense, they've been outstanding through the first two games. They've been forcing plenty of turnovers, getting off the field quick, getting their offense back out there. So I'm looking forward to it. The Piedmont flexbone offense against this Tigers defense that's been really good so far.
Hey, coming up in our show today, of course, we're going to give you our game previews of every one of our games that are on the KREFSports.tv network, and you'll hear from both Crew Knowles and Attic Sanders of Norman High. But I want to play this from Noxton Rollo because we caught up with him about a couple of weeks ago after his first breakout game in week 0. Really humble kid. You're going to enjoy this clip.
I just want to let you expound upon that, man. 4 tutties in your first game. How are you feeling? What did you see? And just what all went in to that sort of a performance?
I felt great. I feel like the team this year is a better team than last year. We worked together much more, and I think if it wasn't for my team, I don't think I would have been, scoring anything. I put it all on my team. So,
Tell me about that Piedmont team. What's different about this team this year as compared to last year?
We're closer together, way closer together, and no one separates anyone from anyone. We all group together and we do everything together.
Yeah. Now, talk about, you guys haven't had a change at quarterback this year. How comfortable is that entire offense now around the new signal caller? Obviously, you guys run a different style of ball than almost everybody else does. How has it been just getting everybody comfortable in the system with a new quarterback?
I don't think anyone has felt uncomfortable. From the start, everyone just felt comfortable with him. He's been known here. Everyone's liked him. And when he first played, and we went out there and scored.
Yeah, so I want to go back to you specifically. You as a runner, just running over people, can run around people. What is the best part of your skill set that you offer?
The best part is my speed. I'm gonna make you miss, but you also got to know I can run you over.
Yeah, no, for real. So what is, going back to the off season, part of that running people over is like you obviously added a lot of strength, a lot of size. What was that off season like in preparation for this year?
It's been a lot of eating, a lot of working out. Working on my speed, working on pretty much anything you can. So,
what's the best part of this Piedmont team?
Best part, you got to be the teammates and the coaches.
What's the best characteristic of this team?
It's a big word. I don't really know. We just kind of work together. You know, everyone's with everybody. No one's separated.
Noxton Rollo, a really cool story in his sophomore season as he is a budding star for the Wildcats. And now we're going to turn it over to Andrew Himes and Ryan Rollins. Andrew Himes will be on the play-by-play for KREFSports.tv on the Norman side of things. And Ryan Rollins leads a crew along with Jacob Owens. That'll give you the Piedmont Wildcats perspective. Take it away, guys.
Norman got the road victory last season. 41-14 was the final, but it took the Tigers till almost halftime to really get a feel for that flexbone offense that Piedmont runs. This one shapes up to be a defense-first game. Piedmont's defense has not allowed a score of any kind so far this season, and the Tigers' starting defensive unit has scored more points than they have allowed, with Crew Knowles and Harris Valentine both taking back pick sixes in the game against Santa Fe, and Jaden Spencer causing a safety in Week 1 against Norman North. The biggest question for me for the Tigers is, can they get the running game going? Tigers do not have a running play from scrimmage longer than 11 yards this season and have averaged only 115 yards as a team through the first 2 games. And of course, the obvious storyline is that former Piedmont quarterback Grayson May is now taking snaps at Norman High. He's not going to get the start, but we'll see how much of a factor he plays in taking on his old team.
The Wildcats on the season coming in 2-0 after defeating Midwest City in Game 1 and El Reno in Game 2. They did have last week off, getting the bye week, as they did play Week 0 against Midwest City, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for the Tigers here tonight. And for the Wildcats, this is going to be their first road test. And it's also going to be the first road test for the first-year starter under center Jordan Holman, who's done a great job through the first 2 matchups. In the first game against Midwest City, every time the offense touched the ball, it found its way into the end zone. And game number 2 was a little bit more of a struggle for the offense as penalties got in the way, but really came out in the second half, shored up all those penalty issues, and ran away against El Reno. But after talking about the offense, let's talk about this defense. The defense on the season has given up 0 points to either opponent. So putting up goose eggs as the defense has been stellar. So it's going to be good on that side of the ball. Talking about the Wildcat defense and the Norman Tiger offense, which is going to be one of the better offenses that the Wildcats have seen so far yet on the season, and might be one of the better offenses it sees all season long. The Wildcats are looking for a little bit of redemption, as they did lose to the Tigers last year. So we'll see if it will happen here on KRefSports.tv.
I'm alongside Addix Sanders, Norman High corner. And Addix, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. You guys were solid last year. You brought back quite a bit from a year ago. What's impressed you so far through 2 games on the defensive side?
I'll just say getting the stops that we need to stop, like 3rd down situations, the 4th downs, and especially the turnovers already. We have about 5 turnovers so far in the 2 games, and that's very great for our defense.
You guys got Piedmont Friday. It's a different look for you guys offensively. Talk about the preparation that goes into it, dealing with that flex bone look that Piedmont provides.
It's a lot of preparation. We have to key in on their running back with the quarterback, their little trickeries and all that kind of stuff. But we've been dialed in. We've been watching a lot of film, and we're ready to kick them.
And you being a senior, Crew being a senior, captains on the team, that's got to be a special moment for you, senior season, going out there for the coin toss and being one of these leaders for this team.
It's just really great to be a leader and be a captain for this team. This team is just something else, and they're all great guys, and it's just great to lead them and lead them to victory every day.
Last thing for you, Addix, we look around and they're getting everything ready for just Norman High now, changing it up. You guys used to share this field for Norman North. How cool is it now for this stadium to be yours?
It's very cool. I like all the new details they're adding and everything that's coming along, and it looks very pretty and very beautiful, and I just love having our own field.
Addix, appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
That's Addix Sanders, cornerback on the Norman High Tigers, as we get you ready for the Metro Ford of OKC game of the week between Piedmont and Norman. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Metro Ford of OKC.
Hey, Oklahoma. Dusty Dvorak here at Metro Ford of OKC. When it comes to power, strength, and reliability on the line or on the road, these custom-built Fords don't flinch.
Who really loves you, Oklahoma? Drive home in a new 2025 F-150 for 5.9% APR for 84 months.
Built tough and loaded with torque. That's a win in any playbook.
With insurance premiums on the rise, business owners and homeowners are looking for relief. Insurica is one of America's largest insurance brokers, and Insurica is here to help. Insurica's exclusive process, RM4U, partners with businesses and homeowners to reduce the total cost of risk. The goal is to put more of your insurance dollars back into your pocket. Learn more about our process at Insurica.com. Insurica, specializing in you.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question your injuries, and make things difficult. They put profits over people.
At McIntyre Law, we level the playing field. We take on the billion-dollar insurance companies so you can focus on what matters, getting your life back. Call us at 405-777-7000. You deserve better.
Back here on the Metro Ford of OKC pregame show, getting you set for Norman and Piedmont and the rest of the high school action on the night. Crew Knowles, the senior wide receiver and defensive back for Norman High, joins us now. And Crew, I want to talk about the start to your year as a two-way player. You've made excellent plays, both offensively and defensively. What has gone into that and getting your body right for that and just executing on the field?
Yes, sir. I mean, our coaches are really heavy on hydrating our bodies, so I've really been chugging water just to stay my coaches, they warned me at the start of the season where I'm going to play both sides of the ball. Like, I probably won't come off the field. So it's kind of just been preparation and practice and the things how I have 5 touchdowns already, and 1 came from defense and 4 came from offense. So it's incredible. It's been a great start of the season, and excited to do more. So.
Speaking of your offense, you've caught passes from a couple of quarterbacks now. What is something that each of them bring as they perform pretty well for the Tigers so far this year?
Both quarterbacks I've caught from, they both bring great leadership. And then, obviously their work ethic on the field and off the field. They both watch film, they study. And I believe in both of them. I'm confident in both of them. So when we step on the field as an offense, I believe that every drive we can go down and score. So it's having my confidence in my quarterbacks is something that is just great to have. So
you got a great opening night win on the road at Norman North, which is something we've never said in the entirety of that rivalry. And then you guys dominate Edmond Santa Fe. How do you continue to keep yourselves locked in as you go into this week's game against Piedmont?
We've just been going week by week. But this week with Piedmont is different, especially for the defense. They run a wing tee, so we have to have our minds right and keep our keys. We each have a key that we're watching. And I think if we keep our minds right with the defense that we have, I believe we're the best defense in the state. I think we can keep them to scoreless. And as offense, we have to execute because we're not going to get the ball much. That's how it was last year. We got the ball about 7 times. If we score every drive, I think we could blow them out pretty good. So
yeah. One of their best players out of that wing T offense is Knox Dorallo, their running back. How impressed have you been with what you've seen on film with his start to the year?
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed, and he's only a sophomore. He's got a lot to come. I saw he had a punt return last week. He's fast. I've talked to Grayson May is a former Piedmont player. He knows a lot about them, and he's definitely mentioned that Knox is their threat. He's a fast kid. He's going to grow, and he'll have a great next 2 years as well as this year. So
yeah. Appreciate the time, Crew. Good luck this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right,
time for players to watch. And I'm going to start it out with Tyler Wright, the safety for Bixby. They were off last week, but before then against Sand Springs. But Tyler Wright had not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions for the Spartan defense, including 1 which he raced coast to coast for a house call to get Bixby another score. He has been excellent so far at the start of the season. Connor, tell us about Ethan Young.
Yeah, Ethan Young, we talk about this front 7 for Norman and the linebacker play with Noah Holzer and Ethan Young. Well, he's one of those talented guys up front, and he's going to be involved quite a bit in stopping this run.
And lastly, let's talk about Byron Mason, the Norman North running back. And in my conversation with Justin Jones a week ago, he said we have to use the pass to set up the run, and it was successful. And Mason did well on both sides. He had a huge touchdown run and a huge touchdown catch as well. 186 total yards to go along with those couple of touchdowns. He is the key to offensive balance for Norman North. let's pick some games here because we've got a ton here on the KREFSports.tv slate on Friday night. Now, Broken Arrow, Deer Creek, Edmond Memorial, Edmond North, Edmond Santa Fe, and Yukon are all off with that last bye week before district play starts a week from tonight. So let's start with 2-0 Moore after winning the city championship. They go on the road to take on 1-1 Norman North.
Well, how about Moore? Maverick Gardner sliding into that quarterback position for the Lions, and he's been good so far through 2 games. That last week performance against Southmore, nearly threw for 200 yards, also rushed for over 140 yards, a few touchdowns as well. So he did it both with his arm and his legs. Outstanding athlete that the Lions have. And the running back play by Norman North, Mason. I mean, they needed to get some kind of running game going with the young quarterback in Nash Henry, and they were able to do that last week. That takes a lot of pressure off a young quarterback's hands.
Yeah, last year these two teams faced each other twice. Moore won in the regular season, but Norman North ended the Lions season with a 30-19 win in the first round of the playoffs. Bixby is back in action, like we mentioned a couple of moments ago, and the undefeated Spartans take on 1-1 Choctaw.
Well, Choctaw, the thing that stands out with them is Titus Hawk, the 4-star tight end. He's a big body at 6'7", and they're going to be looking to get him involved in the passing game. They're going to try to test this outstanding secondary for Bixby, and one of those guys being Tyler Wright that you just talked about. His play against Sand Springs, 2 pick sixes. He is a ball hawk in that secondary for Bixby. That's an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, Tyler Wright, 6'2", 190. They've also got a nice weapon in Trey McLaughlin back there for Bixby, but Titus Hawk, 6'7", tight end, already holds offers from Oklahoma, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Michigan, just to name the top few. Let's go to Westmore, where the Jaguars, who are 0-2, they'll look for their first win of the season, hosting 1-1 Mustang.
Well, Grayson, we don't know the status of Jaden O'Neal. He was out last week against Broken Arrow. The offense had a little bit of a hard time getting going against the Tigers, and Westmore, they're going to have to rally around the football if they do indeed go with the backup quarterback for Westmore. We'll just have to wait and see tonight to see what the Broncos do. But Westmore, man, they're looking to get a win under their belt, and they got a tough opponent tonight in Mustang.
Southmore at Putnam City North. Southmore looking to get to 2-1 before the district slate kicks off. Putnam City is 0-2.
Yeah, Putnam City 0-2. They just got defeated by Putnam City Original, but they can attack the passing game. They like to air out the football, so that Southmore secondary is going to have to be ready to go and play solid football in that back end to be able to force them one-dimensional a little bit offensively for PC North.
In Southmore's win last week, Tylen Diggs, their junior running back, 114 yards on 28 carries and a couple of touchdowns. He's had an excellent start to the 2025 season. And lastly, let's get back to our game of the week because Piedmont is coming in here to take on Norman High. And, you know, one of the players that I've really been impressed with is the emergence of Cash Cortner, who comes over from Del City. He throws a beautiful frozen rope ball, man. I've loved his placement, and this offense looks like it's just going to pick up where it left off a season ago.
No, for sure. And we were just talking to Crew Knowles just about the play by Cash Cortner, and I mentioned, I'm like, it feels like he's just gotten more comfortable out there after that crosstown clash game, and Crew said yes, he's just feeling much better on the field, making better decisions with the football, and it's nice to have a back there in Anthony Johnson that takes a little pressure off your shoulders. And Anthony Johnson's been running the ball well. Crew knows we know what he can do in the passing game as well. So it's a dangerous offense, and you match that with the way they're playing defensively. I mean, it's just all around football right now for the Tigers to start off the season.
And for Piedmont, they're going to look to just muddy this game up with the running game, but they've got a lot of just incredible quirks off of that flex bone, that wing T style of offense. Again, Knoxton Rollo leading the charge in that one has been absolutely outstanding. So we've got an excellent game coming up for you on our Metro Ford of OKC Game of the Week. Also, excellent matchups throughout the rest of our KREFSports.tv network. And we're going to get you out to your game coming up next. For Connor Pasby, I'm Grayson Singleton. Enjoy the games, everybody. Have a good night.
Metro Ford of OKC.
Hey, Oklahoma. Dusty Dvorak here at Metro Ford of OKC. When it comes to power, strength, and reliability on the line or on the road, these custom-built Fords don't flinch.
Who really loves you, Oklahoma? Drive home in a new 2025 F-150 for 5.9% APR for 84 months.
Built tough and loaded with torque. That's a win in any playbook.
With insurance premiums on the rise, business owners and homeowners are looking for relief. Insurica is one of America's largest insurance brokers, and Insurica is here to help. Insurica's exclusive process, RM4U, partners with businesses and homeowners to reduce the total cost of risk. The goal is to put more of your insurance dollars back into your pocket. Learn more about our process at Insurica.com. Insurica, specializing in you.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love and impact. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question your injuries, and make things difficult. They put profits over people.
At McIntyre Law, we level the playing field. We take on the billion-dollar insurance companies so you can focus on what matters, getting your life back. Call us at 405-777-7000. You deserve better.